Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Midday News on Global Television. Coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja, I am Jumai Manson. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and free to air on Nicomsat. Now the news in full. The Economic Community of West African State Food and Cultural Festival says its upcoming festival held in Nigeria is aimed at promoting food security, poverty alleviation, and zero tolerance for hunger in 16 ECOWAS countries. Its Director General Ambassador Felix Ihore made this known at the preparatory interministerial stakeholders meeting at ECOWAS Food and Cultural Festival in Abuja. The ECOWAS Food and Cultural Festival is scheduled to be held in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State from October 6 to 11, 2024. Kogi State Governor Usman Ododo has hailed the ruling of the Supreme Court that affirmed his election as governor of the state, saying the verdict revalidated the position of free. Speaking while reacting to the Supreme Court verdict in Abuja on Friday, Ododo commended the Supreme Court in the verdict, which restored stability to the government and puts the state on the path of progress. Speaking further, Ododo called on opposition parties to join him in moving the state forward and consolidate the state's current development trajectory. In a related development, the Supreme Court has upheld the Imo State governorship election that produced Hope Uzodimma as the governor of the state for a second term. A 5-member panel of the Apex Court, in a unanimous decision, dismissed the appeal brought before the court by the People's Democratic Party and its candidate, Samuel Ayon, in the last governorship election in the state. In the lead judgment delivered by Justice Mohammed Baba Idris, the court resolved all issues raised for determination in the appeal against the appellants. The Supreme Court has affirmed the re-election of Senator Doye Diri as the governor of Bayelsa State after dismissing the appeal of Timi Perez Silva, candidate of the All Progressive Congress, in November 11, 2023 off-cycle election. A 5-member panel of the Apex Court, headed by Justice Lawal Garba, on Friday affirmed the Court of Appeal decision of July 15th, which deemed Silva's appeal as an abuse of court process for filing 2 notices of appeal. Imo State Governor Hope Uzodimma has called on politicians to emulate the exemplary life of late Michael Okpara. The governor made the call at the Michael Okpara Leadership Lecture and Award 2024 in Abuja. Uzodimma advised public office holders to live above board and work for the benefit of the people. Kikelomo Kere tells us more.
Almost 60 years since Michael Okpara left the political stage, his shoes remains big for most politicians to wear as a result of his political philosophy, which encapsulates in pragmatic socialism. The governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodimma, who spoke on the topic Service Above Self, Lessons from the Leadership Philosophy of Dr. Michael Okpara, noted that Okpara was able to make the Eastern region's economy the fastest growing one in Africa because of the leadership model. According to him, the inordinate quest for wealth and lack of discipline, among others, are responsible for the unbridled corruption in Nigeria's system.
Again, emphasized the need for us to render selfless service to the people of the state and not to be driven by the acquisition of wealth. Because, as I speak, nobody can come out openly to accuse me of corruption. My close aides, and I challenge anybody, my close aides who engaged in untoward activities never knew how fast they were thrown out of government.
He also provided an update on the ongoing rehabilitation of the Egbema power plant, announcing that the project is expected to be completed and commissioned in the first quarter of 2025. The governor highlighted the importance of the project in providing 24 hours electricity across all areas of Imo State.
Just like the Great Okpara, I also realized that having stabilized the critical infrastructure, especially roads, and knowing that our health and the education sectors were under and running smoothly, I decided to turn my attention to the total industrialization of the state. Realizing that this could never be feasible without a regular power supply, The government of Imo State has entered into a partnership agreement, taking out advantage of the latest alteration of our constitution, removing power from the exclusive legislative list to the concurrent legislative list. We have now, working with our technical and financial partners, created a platform to generate, transmit, and distribute electricity to the 27 local government areas of the state.
In his remark at the occasion, Cross River State Governor Senator Basi Otu described Okpara as his hero because of the monumental development he achieved in the former eastern region. According to him, most of the agricultural policies being implemented by his administration in Cross River State were derived from the legacy of Okpara.
And I urge you to transmute them with a sterling emblem of unblemished integrity and credibility.
The chairman of the occasion and the former president of the Senate, Senator Ayim Pius Ayim, praised the organizers for keeping the memory of the late premier alive. He eulogized Governor Hope Uzodinma for his thought-provoking lecture and urged Nigerians to imbibe the recommendations from the lecture.
I want to state, and very confidently, that no Nigerian citizen east of the Niger has impacted Eastern Nigeria positively like Mwai Okpara. Said Okpara's administration was purposeful and visionary leadership.
The former First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Dame Patience Jonathan, says the lecture is aimed at promoting good governance and excellence in service delivery.
Amake's Okpara legacies are too numerous to mention, but I urge you to hold firm to those legacies for the progress of the country in general.
The highlight of the event was the presentation of awards to notable Nigerians, of which the Premier Grand Prize, Gold Plaque category award by the organizers was given to Governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, among others. Kike Lomo Okere, almost 6.
Thank you, Kike, for that report. The Nigerian Education Loan Fund has clarified that geopolitical zones do not influence the disbursement of its funds. This came after the NEL Fund shared that it had released a sum of 2.94 billion naira to 19 universities for 27,667 students. The list revealed that universities in the southeast and south-south regions were not included among the beneficiaries, sparking criticism from some Nigerians. In a bid to achieve food sufficiency, the Imo State government, through the FADAM 2 area project, has distributed farming implements to local farmers. Our correspondent, Amarachi Ibe, reports that the initiatives aim to enhance agricultural productivity and ensure food security for residents. Her report.
The Commissioner for Agriculture and Food Security, Cosmos Madoba, who led the distribution of the farming implements to farmers from the 27 local government areas of the state, urged them to utilize the implements judiciously.
The governor has told me to inform you that he will be very, very grateful if we are able to apply these materials according to the needs that it will deserve. Go home, take them, go back to your farms, do whatever you need for to make sure that by this time around, this year, we will have food in excess. To the happiness of all of you and to the joy of the government and to the joy of everybody.
Charles Enya, head of Fadama Resort Area 2 project, explains the role of Fadama and the Imo State government in purchasing the farming implements.
Fadama Resort Area 2 is one of the platforms for NG cares here in the state. And as a matter of fact, His Excellency, Senator Hope Uzodinma, supported by funding Fadama Resort Area 2 to procure input for farmers.
The chairman of All Farmers Association of Nigeria, Imo State Chapter, Vitus Enwerem, expressed gratitude for the gesture, predicting a significant impact on next year's harvest.
My advice to them is for them to organize themselves very well and make use of these inputs judiciously. Use it in their farm. I've already promised the government that the effect of this input today will be felt in the next year harvest season.
Amid the country's increasing food insecurity, this initiative is expected to boost food production in the state. Amarachi Ibe, Global TV, Owerri.
Amarachi for that report. The Nigerian Hydrological Services Agency has warned the public regarding the rising water level of the River Niger as of August 22, 2024. This alert comes in response to a report from the Niger Basin Authority in Niamey, Niger Republic, indicating that upstream activities in Niger, and Mali have contributed to the situation. A statement by the Director General of the agency, Omar Mohammed, noted flood waters from the two countries are expected to move gradually into Nigeria through Kebbi State. Further noting that the dam operators at Kanji and Jeba on the river Niger have been informed and are fully prepared to manage the situation. The Nigerian Medical Association has called on the Cross River State government to urgently enhance its surveillance mechanisms against Mpox amidst increased vulnerability. The Public Relations Officer of the Doctors Association, Dr. Ukam Ididi, made the call in an interview in Calabar, Cross River State capital. The Cross River chapter of the association therefore warned that the state is more vulnerable than others. Now over to the federal government says it has set up at least 4 aging decks basically meant for care for senior citizens in 40 different ministries, departments and agencies, stating that one individual agency for ministry cannot handle the issue related to aging. The Director General of the National Senior Citizen Center, Dr. Imem Omokaro, disclosed this in Abuja during an inaugural training program for quality assurance accessories certification in the geriatric social care skills sector. Although the government did not list the ministries, departments, and agencies that have the section, it however warned against discrimination and stigmatization of older persons in various sectors. Not in the old age should be seen as a beautiful thing to cherish and not to despise. The lawmaker representing Delta Central Senatorial District at the National Assembly, Senator Ede Modene, has called on the federal and Delta state government to, without further delay, commence the process of rebuilding and resettling the displaced indigents of the devastated Okoma community of Ugeli South local government area in their ancestral home. This is, as he noted, that civilians arrested in connection to the killings of soldiers in the community must be respected and not subjected to any form of abuse. He also appealed to international donor agencies to come to the aid of the troubled Okoma people, noting that the situation at Okoma is an international humanitarian crisis that needs global effort to rebuild and resettle the people. You're watching Midday News on Global Television, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. When Midday News returns, federal government bans mining activities at site where bandits killed 12 miners in Niger State. Details of more after this break. You're welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, this is Global Television, bringing you live broadcasts of Midday News. Thank you for staying with us. On our business desk now, the Federal Ministry of Works has introduced new policies aimed at transforming the road construction in Nigeria. The policies unveiled by the Minister of Works, Senator David Umahi, are designed to address the Director of the Federal Polytechnic, Ilaro, Ogun State, Dr. Mukil Akinde, says the institution is planning to have a mini assembly plant for the production of his newly invented electric automated tricycle. Akinde also called on the federal government as well as corporate organizations, especially in the manufacturing sector, to help drive the commitment of Polytechnic to see to the commercial production of the invention. Director says the success of the commercial production of this tricycle will help a lot to cost importation, reduce pressure on our foreign exchange, and boost job opportunities for our teeming youths. The federal government has designated the Nigerian Interbank Settlement System, NIBSS, the Bank Verification Number, BVN, and the National Identification Number, NIN database as critical national information infrastructure. This is contained in the Designation and Protection of Critical National Information Infrastructure Order 2024. An official gazette recently signed by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the designation means that anyone who attacks any infrastructure listed in the gazette commits an offense and is liable to persecution. The federal government has placed a ban on mining activities in the Ongwa Moigoro village, Niger State, where 12 miners were murdered by bandits recently, pending the completion of the investigation. The Minister of Solid Minerals and Development, Dr. Dele Alake, disclosed this in a statement on his official X handle following reports of non-Nigerians funding mining operations in Nigeria and concerns about 12 miners allegedly killed by bandits in Niger State, Shiroro local government area. Dr. Alake urged embassies to monitor their nationals' activities in the sector as criminal conduct could harm bilateral relations. On our foreign scene, a manhunt is underway after 3 people were killed and 8 others injured in a knife attack in the western Germany city of Solingen, police say. The attack happened during a festival in the city center on Friday evening. 5 of those injured are in critical condition. On Saturday, police said they are still looking for the attacker with national security forces deployed to the scene. They gave no details of a motive. The man reportedly stabbed passerbys at random when the industrial city was celebrating 650 years since it was founded. Treasury Secretary John Mbadi confirmed that about 49 measures were being considered as part of a tax amendment bill. The eco-level tax aimed to curb pollution and waste management at the office and household level. Unlike the initial proposal, this one will exclude sanitary tolls, and the newly appointed secretary has insisted. Companies remain in the authorities' sights. The minister rebuked a challenge by U.S. beverage manufacturer Coca-Cola, which opposed the 10% levy on all locally manufactured plastics. On sports now, Nigerian-American UFC fighter Kamaru Usman says he is looking forward to an unforgettable show as the African Knockout Championship is set to light up Abuja once again with its second event in the Federal Capital Territory on Saturday, August 31st, as This Day Doom. Launched in 2020 as mixed martial arts talent reality TV show Echo concentrates on African talents, and the Echo Championship was initiated in 2023 and the first Pan-African Professional Boxing and MMA Championship. Echo 5 will feature adrenaline pumping action across various diversions, including featherweight, middleweight, lightweight, and women's welterweight as the Echo Championship playoffs draw near. Edo Queens have secured a spot in the CAF Women's Championship League after a resounding 3-0 victory over Benin Republic's Anouver FC in the final of the Wafobi Women's Championship. In August edition of the Chess Heights Plateau State was a tournament of keen battle as players' rating were used to determine 2 of the 4 categories. Some of the most talented chess players across the North Central converged on the scenic islands, bubbles of Cove Curse in Maldiko, Rayfield Joss for the event. As Derek Kinsley emerged as the championship as the open category with 5 points, securing the victory based on his